Every morning, millions of people wake up, rush to work, earn money, and still feel broke. Not because they're lazy, not because they're irresponsible, but because they're caught in a silent trap they can't see. A trap designed so cleverly that even smart, hardworking people fall for it. And the scariest part? You might be inside this trap right now without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to reveal the invisible money trap that keeps 99% of people poor, even when they're doing everything right. Trap 1. The comfort cycle. Most people don't realize that the first and most dangerous money trap begins the moment life becomes comfortable enough. Because comfort doesn't arrive as a luxury, it arrives as relief. It arrives the day you finally have a stable income, the day the constant fear of not surviving fades just a little, the day you tell yourself, at least I'm doing okay, and that tiny mental sigh of relief becomes the start of a quiet but deadly cycle. Comfort makes you believe you have time. It makes you believe you're safe. It convinces you that the urgency to grow can wait until next week, next month, next year. And because growth feels exhausting while comfort feels peaceful, your mind naturally chooses the easier path. Slowly, without even noticing it, you stop learning new skills because the job you have pays good enough. You stop pushing yourself because pushing feels uncomfortable. You stop taking risks because risks threaten the fragile stability you finally achieved. You begin to prioritize feeling secure today instead of building a better tomorrow. You start avoiding challenges, not because you're incapable, but because comfort tells you challenges are unnecessary. And the dangerous part is, comfort feels like progress. You tell yourself you're responsible, you're stable, you're doing fine. But deep down, you know you've stopped moving forward. Life becomes a loop. Wake up, work, come home, distract yourself, sleep, repeat, while the years pass quietly. You promise yourself you'll chase your dreams one day, but one day keeps moving further away the more comfortable you become. Comfort whispers that staying the same is safer than trying something new. It blinds you to your own potential because it makes you dependent on the predictable. And the longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it becomes to break out, because you begin to fear change more than you fear mediocrity. This is why comfort is the silent trap that destroys ambition. Not loudly, but gradually, like a slow leak that eventually sinks the ship. It keeps millions of people living the same financial year on repeat. Never poor enough to panic, never comfortable enough to succeed, living in a quiet middle zone where dreams fade, time slips away, and potential dies without making any noise. Trap 2. The illusion of progress. One of the most dangerous traps that keeps people broke is the illusion of progress, the belief that being busy automatically means you're getting ahead. Most people live every day in constant motion, waking up early, rushing to work, dealing with tasks, answering messages, solving problems, fighting fires, and collapsing into bed exhausted, believing they've had a productive day. But movement is not momentum, and activity is not achievement. This trap works because it feels good. It rewards you with the temporary satisfaction of, I did a lot today, even though none of those things brought you any closer to financial freedom. You start confusing urgency with importance, thinking that finishing tasks means you're advancing. But most tasks people obsess over, emails, messages, errands, routines, don't build assets, skills, or wealth. They simply maintain the life you already have. And the illusion keeps you trapped by giving you emotional rewards, tiny hits of accomplishment that make you feel alive while your life remains exactly the same. You begin to think you're working hard when you're really just running on a treadmill that goes nowhere. Years pass, and you look back realizing you've been busy but not strategic. You handled responsibilities but didn't change your trajectory. You survived days but didn't build a future. This illusion is dangerous because it convinces you that you don't need to change. It tells you that working hard is enough. But wealth isn't built by how much you do. It's built by what you do consistently. Until you break free from this trap, you will always feel tired, always feel overwhelmed, and always feel behind, even if you're working your hardest. Because the truth is harsh. The world doesn't pay you for effort, it pays you for value. And busyness without direction creates no value. This is why millions of hardworking, dedicated people remain poor, not because they lack discipline, but because they confuse being active with being effective. And that illusion keeps them stuck for decades. Trap 3. The survival loop. The survival loop is one of the most suffocating traps because it keeps your mind locked inside a 30-day cage, where every decision is made just to reach the next month. It starts simply. You earn money, you pay bills, you cover expenses, and whatever is left, if anything, gets spent on tiny comforts to escape the stress of your routine. But because the cycle repeats every month, you begin to live mentally in short bursts, always focused on the immediate, never the long term. You stop thinking about 5 years from now because surviving the next 5 days feels more urgent. Your brain becomes trained to panic when bills arrive, to relax only after the paycheck hits, and to repeat the same stressful loop endlessly. The worst part is that this lifestyle feels normal because everyone around you is doing the same thing. You think living paycheck to paycheck is just how life works. You believe stress is part of adulthood. You assume that dreams can wait until things get better, but things never do, because the loop drains your time, money, and energy every single month. You can't think about investments because emergencies keep interrupting. You can't take risks because you fear losing the little stability you have. You can't build wealth because wealth requires patience, long-term thinking, and emotional space. Things the survival loop steals from you. Over time, your dreams shrink, your goals shrink, your self-belief shrinks. You stop imagining possibilities and only focus on preventing disasters. And that's the trick. The survival loop keeps you too busy surviving to ever start winning. It compresses your mindset so tightly around your immediate problems that you lose sight of the bigger picture. You become financially alive but emotionally dead, trapped in a life where you work endlessly yet never move forward. This loop doesn't just keep people poor, it keeps them hopeless, resigned, and convinced that their future is out of their control. Trap 4. The debt illusion. Debt is the most deceptive trap because it disguises itself as convenience, progress, and possibility. It tells you, why wait? You can have it now. And because life already feels heavy, most people say yes. The first swipe feels harmless, a small EMI, a loan you promise you'll pay off easily, a credit card purchase that feels like a gift from your future self. But debt doesn't take from your future, it steals your future. Every installment you commit to becomes a chain around your financial freedom, quietly decreasing your options and increasing your stress. And because debt feels invisible in the beginning, people don't notice how deeply they're sinking. It starts with one EMI, then another, until your paycheck arrives already pre-spent. You end up working not for yourself, but for lenders, banks, and companies that profit from your lack of patience. Debt tricks you by providing comfort today, but charging you with suffering tomorrow. It makes you feel richer than you are, even though technically you're borrowing from money you haven't earned yet. Emotional debt is worse. You begin to feel guilty, anxious, ashamed, trapped by numbers you don't even want to look at. And the trap tightens because once you're in debt, you avoid risks, opportunities, and investments because you're always trying to catch up. You stop dreaming because debt steals the mental space required to imagine a better life. You delay important decisions, decline chances for growth, avoid change, and settle for stability because you can't afford instability. Slowly, debt becomes your silent boss, controlling your time, your choices, your future, even your identity. And by the time most people realize they're drowning, debt has already shaped their entire financial destiny. It takes away your tomorrow so quietly that you don't even notice it happening. And that's why it keeps millions stuck for life. Not because they're irresponsible, but because they believed they were buying time, when in reality they were selling it. Trap 5. The lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is one of the most silent traps because it never arrives as a disaster. It arrives as a reward. It starts the moment you get a raise, earn a little more, or finally feel like you're doing better. And instead of using that extra money to escape the financial pressure you've lived under for years, your brain whispers, you deserve something nice. So you reward yourself with a new phone, slightly nicer clothes, a few more dinners outside, a better subscription, an upgraded apartment, or a slightly more expensive car. None of these decisions feel dangerous. They feel like progress. They feel like life is improving. But slowly, quietly, your new lifestyle becomes your new baseline, and your expenses rise to meet your income. Suddenly, the money you thought would give you freedom gives you more stress, because now you have to maintain the upgraded life you built. And once your lifestyle becomes bigger, you can never go back without feeling like you're failing. So instead of reducing expenses, you push yourself to earn more, work harder, hustle constantly, and chase income just to sustain a life you don't actually need. Lifestyle creep steals wealth by making every upgrade feel small, reasonable, and justified, even though the accumulation destroys your ability to invest, save, or build long-term assets. You start living for comfort instead of purpose. You buy things you don't need to impress people who don't care. You chase feelings instead of freedom. And the worst part? Lifestyle creep doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like success. It makes you believe you're rising in life while secretly making sure you can never escape financial pressure. It anchors you to bigger bills, higher expectations, and constant stress. And by the time people realize they've trapped themselves with their own desires, they're working harder than ever just to maintain a lifestyle that doesn't bring them any closer to wealth. Trap 6, the later syndrome. This trap is deadly because it's built entirely out of good intentions. Almost everyone believes they will improve their finances later. They tell themselves they'll start saving later, start investing later, learn new skills later, start a side business later, and get serious about money later. Later feels safe because it lets you avoid discomfort right now while pretending you're being responsible. But later is a liar. Later never comes. When the day arrives, you push it again because the brain always picks comfort over discipline, pleasure over planning, and rest over responsibility. And every time you delay, your future becomes more expensive and your time becomes worth less. You look at investing and think, I'll start next month. But next month arrives with new expenses, new stress, new excuses. You look at building skills and think, I'll do it when life settles. But life never settles, it piles up. The longer you delay, the harder everything becomes, because time is the most powerful wealth-building force on earth, and once you lose it, you never get it back. Later tricks people because it feels harmless. You're not rejecting growth, you're simply postponing it. And that gives you the illusion of control. But what you don't notice is that each delay stacks up into years of lost opportunity, lost compounding, lost momentum, and lost confidence. You wake up one day and realize you're 5 years older, 10 years more stuck, and still living the same life you once swore you'd leave behind. Later destroys dreams quietly, gently, without ever making you feel guilty until it's too late. It's a silent thief that steals your future one harmless decision at a time. And the cruelest part is that someday, you'll look back and realize you weren't waiting for the right time, you were just scared. Trap 7, the social pressure trap. Social pressure is a trap so powerful that most people never recognize it as pressure. They see it as normal life. It begins the moment you start caring about what others think, what society expects, what friends are doing, and how your life compares to theirs. You start making decisions not based on your goals, but based on how you want to appear. You buy things you cannot afford because everyone else has them. You attend events you don't care about because you don't want to seem different. You upgrade your car, your phone, your clothes because you fear looking behind. You chase milestones that aren't even yours. A wedding you can't afford. A house that traps you in debt. A lifestyle that impresses strangers but suffocates you. The trap works because it operates inside your identity. It convinces you that success is about perception, not reality. It makes you value approval more than freedom. It pushes you to choose short-term validation over long-term stability. And slowly you start living for the expectations of people who wouldn't help you even if your entire life collapsed. Social pressure becomes a financial prison because it forces you to spend money on things that bring no return. It teaches you to measure your worth by material symbols instead of personal growth. It keeps you working to maintain an image instead of building a future. And the worst part, you don't even realize you're trapped because everyone around you is doing the same thing. They're stuck too, but they smile, pretend, and post highlights online, making you believe you're falling behind. Social pressure drains your money, time, energy, confidence, and dreams. It takes away the life you want and replaces it with the life others expect. And until you stop living for applause, you will always be poor, no matter how much you earn. Trap 8, the no asset trap. The final and most devastating trap is spending an entire lifetime working hard, earning money, and hustling, but never owning anything that grows without you. This trap happens because most people are trained to be workers, not owners. They trade time for money their entire life, thinking that income is wealth, when in reality, income disappears the moment you stop working. Assets keep earning even when you're asleep. But millions never build assets because they're too busy surviving, too scared to invest, too distracted by expenses, or too focused on short-term comfort. They spend decades earning money and spend it as fast as it comes, never planting financial seeds that grow into trees. This trap feels normal because society celebrates workers who grind endlessly, but rarely teaches anyone how to escape the grind. People think a job is security, but a job is only security until the day you lose it. Without assets, investments, businesses, skills, intellectual property, cash-flowing systems, you have no long-term protection. You rely entirely on your energy, your time, and your ability to work. And as you grow older, that ability naturally declines. The trap closes completely when people reach their 40s, 50s, or 60s and realize they've spent decades working but have nothing to show for it except memories of stress and years of exhaustion. No passive income, no safety net, no wealth, just a cycle that kept repeating until time ran out. The no asset trap is the reason 99% of people stay poor. It's not because they lack income, but because they never convert income into ownership. They live their entire life paying for things that make other people rich while never building anything of their own. And by the time they realize the truth, that only assets create wealth, it's often too late. But the ones who escape this trap early change everything about their future. Because once you start building assets, your life stops depending on how hard you work and starts depending on how smart you build. Most people spend their entire lives trapped without ever realizing the chains were invisible. These money traps don't scream, they don't warn, they don't arrive with alarms, they arrive quietly, disguised as comfort, disguised as routine, disguised as normal life. But the moment you become aware of them, something shifts inside you. You stop living on autopilot. You stop accepting the life you were handed. You start building the life you truly want. Because the truth is simple. Wealth isn't an accident. It's a decision to break free, a decision to think differently, a decision to step outside the patterns that keep 99% of people stuck. And if this video made you think differently, even for a moment, then you're already one step ahead of the trap. You're already on a path most people never even start. So before you go, do one thing for yourself. Stay connected to the ideas that push you forward instead of holding you back. Hit that subscribe button. Like this video if it opened your eyes. Drop a comment telling me which trap hit you the hardest. And share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because you never know. One video can start a transformation. One insight can spark a new direction. And one decision can change your entire financial future. Your escape begins now.